Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome on into our Valley News Now desk on this Friday morning. We finally made it to Friday, and it's looking a little gloomy outside. Not too much to be excited about weather-wise if you're into those warmer temperatures, but if you're one of those people who likes the rain, then I guess this is your day, huh? Well, again, thank you so much for joining us here on the Valley News Now desk. My name is Alex Larson. So, speaking of weather, we are going to pop on over to our website quick, just kind of give you a sneak peek of what we can expect for the day ahead, what we got going on. I'm going to hop over on my computer here. Give me 1 second to pull up our website. Here we go. All right, we're on the Valley News Live website where we're going to go on over to the weather tab here. And it looks like we're tracking rain on Friday, as we saw on that sky cam, and a colder pattern this weekend. Here in Fargo, 3-day forecast. It's looking like tomorrow, I hate to say it, high of 47. And then as we scroll down, though, there is relief in sight. Check this out. Next Sunday, 74, 70 on Memorial Day. Not hot enough to jump in the pool, but we'll take what we can get at this point. And it's going to be a busy weekend for many people as we got a lot of graduations happening this weekend. I'm going to pop back on over to my tabs here. We'll pop on over, see what we got going on this weekend. First, we're going to start over in Moorhead. They've got their graduation happening today. That's 9 a.m. is the first ceremony. 12:30 is the nursing pinning ceremony. 2 to 3:30, is the second ceremony. You can head on over to the MSUM website too. They've got those streaming for you if you're not able to make it out. And you got a grad who's walking the stage today. We're going to hop on over NDSCS2 Friday 3 p.m. And this is a free event, no tickets required. Seating's first come, first served. And that event is also live streamed. You can also find that, again, on the NDSCS website. UND and NDSU. UND's is happening tomorrow. First one's at 9 a.m. for the doctoral and master's ceremony. Undergrads, that's going to be at 2 tomorrow. And then it goes on into the summer one. We don't even know about that right now. That's happening in August. Over at NDSU, 10 a.m. is going to be College of Arts, Sciences, Engineering, and Interdisciplinary Studies. 2 p.m. is College of Ag, Food Systems, Natural Resources, Business, Health, and Human Sciences. So that is happening 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Again, that's happening tomorrow. That one's at the Fargo Dome. So yeah, we got a lot going on this weekend, and we also had a lot news-wise happening this morning. So we're going to start going over that for you here. First of all, we got some things we want to remind you of that are going on this weekend as you hit the roads. Cheyenne Street over in West Fargo, we want to remind you parts of Cheyenne Street are going to be shut down. So that's going to be from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow, and it's to make way for the Red River Spring Market. Now, this does include the downtown area from south of 3rd Avenue to north of 5th Avenue. And if you are in this area, expect some delays and detours during that time. Up in Grand Forks, we want to remind you, starting on Monday, crews are closing the Columbia Road overpass from the exit ramps to 2nd Avenue North. Now, crews are expected to lift up that entire bridge deck and replace the bearings underneath it. Overpass will be shut down. That continues through the end of October. And new for you this morning, a Warroad, Minnesota man was arrested after a high-risk traffic stop in Grand Forks last night. I'm going to pull up his mugshot for you here. Grand Forks Police Department says an officer observed a pickup truck in violation of traffic laws on Demers Avenue just before 8:30 p.m. Police say they tried to stop the truck driven by 58-year-old Kelly Clavin, but he kept on driving. Clavin stopped at the intersection of Demers Avenue and South Washington Street before continuing west, failing to pull over for police. Police did eventually block Clavin in with their patrol vehicle. That was at the intersection of Demers Avenue and South 20th Street. That's also where they took him into custody without incident. He was arrested for fleeing in a motor vehicle as well as preventing arrest. Now, family members of a 3-year-old boy who was murdered in Moorhead in March of last year, they're now speaking out following one of the suspects being sentenced yesterday. So 3-year-old Easton Duranjic, he died in the hospital in March of last year after being in Mason Garza's care. Now, he was brought in after a 911 call to an apartment on Bellesley Boulevard, and he was covered in bruises. Medical examiners say he died of 28 blunt force injuries. Now I'm going to bring up these suspects for you here. After all the impact statements and hearing the guidelines that are in place when it comes to Minnesota state law, Mason Garza, that is on your right here. Cheyenne Erickson, we're getting to her in a second. Hold on. Garza on the right was sentenced to 20 years. Family says yesterday, sentencing is not enough, adding if Garza had just done the right thing when Easton was injured, he would still be alive. We're going to hear from his family right here, okay?
Worried about an adult than to worry about Easton. Like, he would have been alive right now if they'd have just worried about him. No, they worrying about other stuff, saving their own tails, and it just ain't right.
So like I was just telling you, Cheyenne and Mason, I'm going to bring up that picture again here for you. Cheyenne, now we're on to her. She's on the left here. She's also charged in this case, and she pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder earlier this week. That was in Clay County. Now we're moving on to another interesting story we had on our whistleblower hotline this week. I'm going to pull this up for you here, give you a little sneak peek before we get into.
They told me that I won. I was a lucky winner.
So that West Fargo woman, she wants you to learn from her mistake. Police are investigating after she fell victim to a scam artist with a huge promise. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockey shares her warning and what exactly happened here. Let's take a listen, okay?
This is how it started.
Mary Pickerel made sure to clear her schedule. After all, she was told she was getting a brand new pickup truck delivered by her favorite celebrities.
I got a text from a lady saying that she was Travis Kelce's mom. She put me down as a chance to win things from Taylor Swift for Mother's Day. They told me that I won. I was a lucky winner.
It wasn't until she called us that she realized she had made a mistake.
I went into tears.
Was there any part of you that was like, this sounds weird, this sounds too good to be true, or?
No, I was anxious to meet Taylor Swift in person.
The scammer told Mary in order to get the truck and meet Taylor Swift, she needed to pay a $100 delivery fee. The payment method? Gift cards from Walmart.
They were showing me a picture of the vehicle.
We told Mary to call police. Unfortunately, they told her that money is gone.
That's when I quit talking to them.
She has since blocked the scammer. Thankfully, it was only $100. It could have been so much worse. But Mary is on disability with a tight budget and still needs a car.
There is scammers out there, and they will get older people. Don't believe anything unless you talk to your family, friends, police department, everybody, including the news.
In West Fargo, Courtney Lockey, Valley News Live.
So remember, if something sounds too good to be true, it's probably because it is. Do your research, reach out to police if you're not sure. Scammers are often going to ask you to make payments that are untraceable. That's either like a gift card or cash, and they often are going to push you to act very quickly. All of these, remember, are red flags. Now, Mary has reached out to Apple, and they're looking into getting her money back. And the fight against Minnesota wildfires is happening on two fronts. That's in the air and on the ground. Members of the Minnesota National Guard are doing what they can to help. And currently, the Camp House, Jenkins Creek, and Munger Shaw wildfires are burning north of Duluth, spreading across nearly 35,000 acres. Governor Tim Walz activating the Minnesota National Guard Sunday to support local authorities and the Minnesota DNR, adding more than 20 airmen and soldiers and 3 refueling trucks. They also have several Black Hawk helicopters fighting the fire from the air. And moving on here, in response to confirmed measles cases in Cass County, Fargo Cass Public Health held a walk-in vaccine clinic, yesterday. That clinic gave any patient a chance to catch up on their measles, mumps, and MMR shots. And while officials tell us that the turnout for this walk-in clinic wasn't too big, they do say every vaccination makes a difference. Let's take a listen with them.
We're planning for a large number. We haven't seen a huge uptick, but I will say we're really happy with the numbers we're getting as well, because we do know that, we hear that every measles case can spread to about 18 people. And so everybody that we vaccinate really does make a good difference in our community.
So we also got an exciting update for you here. I'm going to pull this up. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. The newly renovated Island Park pool that is set to open in June. Fargo Park's district officials told Valley News Live they are working closely with the construction team to choose a grand opening date. And they're going to give us some more information. They say that's going to be coming soon. You just got to stay patient, okay? And we will be sure to update you as soon as we learn more. I know I'm super excited for that. That's going to be awesome. Check out that blueprint too. Ooh, that slide, Lazy River. That'll be a fun one to take everyone to this summer. And some more exciting news. The Moorhead Freeze. So they got new owners. And those new owners say they're excited to finally make that announcement public. So they're going to rename it Buddy's Parfait. And even with the new ownership, we're told the menu will only see some minor tweaks. Buddy's Parfait hopes to be open by the end of the month, or hopefully at the beginning of June. Lots of exciting news there. But that's about all I got for you. I'll leave you on a good note there. Remember, we have this streaming every weekday morning. 7:30 a.m. Around that time frame, I'm logging on. This is streaming on Facebook, YouTube, as well as our website and apps. But hopefully you have a great weekend and stay dry out there. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend. My name's Alex Larson. I'll see you back here next week.